many HBCU players selected in this year's draft. Dion Sanders noticed. He tweeted, quote, "I'm ashamed of the 31 other NFL teams that couldn't find draft value in all of the talented HBCU players." Shannon, I know this strikes a chord with you. What's your reaction to what Dion had to say?
I disagree with him. In 2020, the NFL instituted a combine for just predominantly HBCU players.
Yep.
All 32 teams shows up.
This year they did, yes.
If that's the question, okay, who are those players that should have been drafted, and what round should they have been drafted in?
47 went to this combine.
Who are the players that should have been drafted from the HBCUs,
okay,
and what round should they have been drafted in?
All right.
Skip, this is not affirmative action, because there were times that black kids couldn't get into university, so they had to apply. Jobs, there were jobs blacks couldn't get, so you had to implement it. But the NFL is a business. The NFL, if I don't give a damn what color you are, if you can help us win, that's why they take guys with questionable character.
Yeah.
They don't care. They want to win. Pro sports is a bottom line business. The only two things that are on the menu, wins and losses. Now, how many guys can we get? I don't give a damn the color. Can help us win. Skip. I mean, you look at the conferences. The SEC had 62, no surprise there. Big Ten. Skip. I think, hold on. All the top 10 players. Guess what, Skip? I'm gonna give you one guess. Guess what color every top 10 pick this year in the NFL draft was? I'll give you one guess. Black. 3 of the top 5 quarterbacks that were selected, 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah.
Guess what color they were, Skip?
Yeah. Okay.
Skip.
We can go 4. It was 4 out of 5. First 4 out of 5, right?
Yeah.
Off the board were black quarterbacks.
Yes.
Well, that's historic, right?
So, what am I missing, Skip? I get it. I went to an HBCU.
You did.
But, Skip, I believe if the guys were talented enough, I don't believe the NFL. There was once upon a time that was the case. Not just at HBCUs. There were black quarterbacks that were good enough to play in the NFL that got overlooked. Skip, with the way it is now and the amount of money that there are a few teams don't spend, but most teams spend an absorbent amount of money on scouting. These guys get in their car and they drive around to the Grambling, to the Prairie Views, and all these other institutions and trying to find that diamond in the rough. You'll get more credit for finding an HBCU guy that can play in the NFL than you will at Michigan. Hell, they got the best of everything. So they should be top of the line. But when you're at an HBCU, your offensive coordinator, probably your running back coach, maybe your wide receiver coach, and hell, he might even teach a class. I'm gonna disagree with Prime on this one.
Okay.
I believe if the guys were talented enough to get drafted, I believe they would have gotten drafted.
Okay. I love Dion Sanders. I love what he has done for Colorado already. He has put them back on the national football map, even thanks to their spring game, which was an event thanks to Dion.
Right.
But he lost me on this one because, A, he did leave Jackson State for Colorado, so he's no longer affiliated with the HBCU. Right. They did have one kid drafted from Jackson State.
I think the Patriots took him with the last pick, right?
Yeah, Isaiah Bolden.
Okay.
Yes. But you know and I know, once upon a time, HBCUs were a pro pipeline.
Yeah.
It was like Hall of Fame city. It was just like the pipeline was just, you could go down and find, there's a player, there's a player.
Yeah, but it was give you to have integration.
Yep. There you go.
Once they integrated the school, it was over.
It was over. I loved your note about the whole first round. It was all black. So you're telling me that at the combine, prejudice was operating against the HBCU kids because they didn't want to draft them because they're black? I think not. If they can play, they can. Listen,
they can play.
This league doesn't care. It's maybe once upon a time it cared, but doesn't care anymore.
Yeah. I just Skip. Walter Payton, Jackson State. Shannon Sharp, Mel Blount. I mean, the list goes on and on.
It's like a Hall of Fame list.
Steve McNair, Jerry Rice went to an HBCU. I just believe with the way they scout, Skip. I believe if Skip, now 16 guys did sign via free agency.
Okay. That's a good note.
Skip, that's still an opportunity.
It is.
drafts, and sure, it is a huge accomplishment. Did I want to get drafted? Yes. But my number one goal was to play in the NFL.
Yep.
I didn't care what position I wanted to play. And if I had to go the free agent route, guess what? Somebody was going to give me a helmet and a shoulder pads. Now it's up to me.
It is. Yep. You're right. That's a good point. Okay. Big picture. Bryce Young goes number 1 overall.
Yes.
C.J. Stroud goes number 2.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson goes 4th. And then we drop down to Will Levis, who is not a black quarterback, finally went in the, second pick of the second round, okay, to Tennessee. And yet I thought and was on the record that Hendon Hooker will be better in pro football than Will Levis. And Hendon Hooker went with the 5th pick in the 3rd round. Still a pretty high pick.
Last year they said HBCU had 4 players taken in last year's draft.
Okay.
So last year they took 4. This year, like, well, you know what? We took too many last year. Let's only take 1 this year. Come on, man. They don't do that. No. And you know, if you're good, they'll find you. It's just the way it is, Skip, okay?
Yeah.
The teams, the scouting department, the scouts didn't deem that the players that they scouted was worthy of getting drafted.
Yeah.
We'll give you an opportunity. Okay? All you want is an opportunity.
That's all. Trust me, if Dion gets the players to come play for him at Colorado that I think he will, he's got a bunch already.
Right.
But in the future, the near future, it will be an NFL pipeline out of Colorado because they won't care what color they are. They'll just care they can flat out play football.
But you're gonna have to, I mean, you look at the Georgias and you look at the Alabama, it's the resources, it's the coaches. You got an outside linebacker coach, an inside linebacker coach, a safety coach, a corner coach, you know, a defensive end coach, a defensive tackle. Skip, you just have so many. The HBCUs don't have that.
Yep.
And so the guys that do get drafted, you know they are immensely talented.
Yep.
Because they didn't have the resources and they didn't have the access to the training and nutrition like they have at the Power 5 schools.
Yep.
What don't they have? You can go get a haircut. You can do everything that you would do outside the building at Alabama, at Oregon, at Ohio State, at Michigan.
Yep.
HBCUs don't have that. But I still believe, Skip, guys that are good enough will get an opportunity. They might not get drafted. But, Skip, there are a lot of guys that go undrafted and turn out to be great.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that the NFL just like say, you know what, nah, we're not going to recruit down there because they don't have it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that to be the case. And if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I just don't believe it.
Okay. Well, Dion has a young man by the name of Travis Hunter. Who can play receiver and or cornerback. Watch how high he eventually goes in the draft because he can flat out change a team's future.
Skip, if you can play, you can play. I mean, Mel Blount, Aeneas Williams, Michael Strahan. I mean,
it's a Hall of Fame parade.
Go look at the early guys that was in the Hall before schools got integrated. Go look at the Hall of Famers in the NFL and see where they came from. The Maryland Eastern Shores, the Grambling, the Southerns, the Alcorns, the Jacksons, the South Carolina States.
Bob Hayes.
Yes.
Yeah.
FAMU.
Yeah.
Tennessee State. That's where they came from. But integration changed that because the guys like, man, if I play on TV for the 80,000 and maybe, you know, mom got a refrigerator out of the deal, you know what I'm saying? It was different.
Yeah. I got it.
Now, Angel Reese. A $1.5 million NIL deal.
Good for her. She deserves it. Yeah. She'll earn it back.
Yes.
Yep.
That stuff matters. These kids like, okay, I get an opportunity. Somebody gonna give me $300,000-$400,000. I can help mom out before I even go make some real money.
You can. Okay. I know how much you love and respect Prime.
Yeah, but I disagree with it. Hell, we disagreed a lot before. We'll probably disagree. But we definitely disagree on this one.
Yes, sir.
It's a great discussion, though, guys. Excellent points all the way around. All right.